You can do this. I gotta go fast.
Sonic the Hedgehog is one of those movies that you're going to miss a lot of secret details if you blinked. So exactly how many did you miss and how many did you catch? We'll see about that.
You use it to destroy the hedgehog!
There is nothing sadder than being by yourself on a lonely planet, and Dr. Robotnik was certainly feeling the loneliness of a castaway existence. And we could see Dr. Robotnik drawing faces on inanimate objects to maybe combat his loneliness. Fans will remember that at the end of Sonic the Hedgehog, Dr. Robotnik was banished to the Mushroom Planet by Sonic. For ardent fans of the game, this little incident tingled their spidey senses. If you recall the Sonic and Knuckles level Mushroom Hill Zone in the games, then Mushroom Planet would definitely be familiar to you and will make this particular Easter egg seem very brilliant. You see, to tackle his boredom and through his evil genius, Dr. Robotnik was able to create a really strong signal array using just mushrooms, some sticks, and the quill he stole from Sonic in the first movie. This signal was able to bring some interesting visitors to the not-so-good Doctor. The most important of them was Knuckles the Echidna. The interesting thing about Knuckles making his cameo at the Mushroom Planet is that it references the Mushroom Hill Zone from the games, and if you can remember well, this is the first level of the game where Knuckles becomes a playable character. So it just stands with reason that Knuckles made his cameo in a place that gave a nod to the games.
Here it comes.
I was expecting more of you. You're unskilled.
In the games, Knuckles was pegged as one who grew up believing in the honesty of people and holds a firm and steadfast belief that there is good in everyone, which always lets him give people second chances. Because of his lack of social ingenuity, however, it makes him very naive, incredibly gullible, and fast about forgiving people, and this makes him to be easily misled. And fans of the game will clearly remember him getting tricked by Dr. Robotnik in the games. This forms part of the plotline of Sonic 3, where we see Knuckles being tricked into becoming Dr. Robotnik's sidekick in his quest to find the Emerald Stone.
Okay, everybody, take it easy. I'm sure there's a perfectly good explanation for whatever my friend said or did.
After Sonic's brief stint away from Green Hill in the first movie, he returns to the city and everything seems like it was. But behind the scenes, Stone, Dr. Robotnik's loyal assistant and former sidekick, have been plotting. He opened a coffee shop. It seems like he made a smart investment to start a coffee shop, but the shop actually was a front for hiding Dr. Robotnik's high-tech gears. I think Stone should be top 2 on the most loyal assistant to supervillain list, and he is definitely not number 2. But that is not the only thing the coffee shop is hiding. The name Mean Bean Coffee is an intentional reference to Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine game released in 1993. Fans of the game will remember the falling puzzle game for its interesting plot about Dr. Robotnik kidnapping residents from Beanville and turning them into robots. And in case you are wondering if the residents were shaped like beans, yes, they were.
Yes. You have our number.
Sorry, can't hear you. You're traveling through a cross-dimensional portal.
Nothing beats throwing a party when the parents are away, or like Sonic did, unleashing your wild side. We see Sonic turning the Wachowski house into a skating park the moment Tom and Maddie leave for Hawaii. And later in the movie, when escaping from Dr. Robotnik, he puts his snowboarding skills to the test by going down a snowy mountain. You might wonder why Sonic, a character who has the crazy ability to run at super speed, needs a snowboard. The answer is that the game and the character were created in the 90s, the period known for loving everything extreme, from attitude to transportation, and what can be more extreme than hurling down a snowy mountain at high speed with your feet strapped to nothing other than a piece of wood. In the world of video games, Sonic was shown to often take breaks from his usual sprinting, instead opting for some snowboarding or streetboarding. For loyal fans of the game, the scene where Sonic and Tails attempt to run away from Knuckles and Robotnik on the mountain in Sonic 2 is a reference to the ice cap zone level in Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which, if you can remember, begins with Sonic snowboarding down a large mountain.
Another bad joke. I lost everything because of you.
The storyline involving Knuckles in Sonic the Hedgehog 2 mostly sticks to the storyline in the video games. Although there was a slight alteration, though, involving the warrior Echidna tribe and their responsibility for defending the Master Emerald. They pretty much stuck to the storyline from the game. Towards the end of the movie, after Sonic used the 7 individual Chaos Emeralds to become Super Sonic and defeat Dr. Robotnik, we see the Master Emerald get shattered into pieces during the battle. But our little red friend, Knuckles, searches around till he finds all the shards and reassembles the emerald back into its original form. For anyone who has played the games, this should be something they are familiar with. Fans will also notice that the emerald's hiding place bore a striking similarity to the habitat of Angel Island in the games.
Blackout!
Ozzy!
Oh, sorry, buddy. Everything's okay.
Almost every gamer will tell you that the underwater scenes in Sonic games are very stressful due to the fact that our blue friend is not a great swimmer. Not just that, but the frantic music that just keeps increasing in tempo and volume often adds more tension to the scene. At the end of the film, we see Sonic nearly drowning himself as he attempts to save Knuckles from drowning after Knuckles was betrayed by Robotnik. And we catch him popping a bubble of air. This might seem like a random detail, but it isn't. Fans of the games are aware that when Sonic runs out of air while underwater, popping bubbles is a way of resetting his air, allowing him to stay underwater for longer. But that was not the only Easter egg in this scene. This scene takes place in none other than a labyrinth where the Master Emerald is hidden. Fans of the game will recall that in the first 2 Sonic the Hedgehog games, the labyrinth zone has underwater sections where Sonic has to swim through tunnels and even escape the rising water. This just goes to show how dedicated to the world of the game the director of the movie was.
Sounds like the owls and echidnas have been fighting each other for centuries.
Like Vin Diesel and The Rock.
Towards the end of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, we see Tails flying a plane, and not just any plane, but a red biplane which was similar to the one he flies in the game. We even see Sonic perched on top of the wing of the plane as they fly into battle against Eggman's giant robot, which many fans will remember as a regular occurrence in the game. Another interesting detail is that even though the name of the plane was not mentioned in the movie, we see a reference being made to the name. Tails' plane is called the Tornado, and the first time he flew the plane, there was a massive tornado that had been caused by Robotnik's Master Emerald powers.
It's time to say goodbye to this piece of shiitake planet!
How many of you caught the post-credits scene? After the first round of credits, we see a short scene of Tom Baker's gun commander being briefed on a secret discovery. He gets informed by one of his agents that they had discovered files from 50 years ago, and these files are connected to a secret Black Ops site and an initiative called Project Shadow. What follows next is the camera panning to a stasis container at an unnamed location, which, drumroll, holds the infamous Shadow the Hedgehog. Shadow is one of the most popular and divisive characters in the entire Sonic the Hedgehog timeline, so seeing him is something fans are excited about. He is also introduced in a way that hints at some smaller details for the franchise's future, which many viewers might miss. From what we have learned so far, and from the Project Shadow name, it's pretty obvious that the movies will stick pretty close to Sonic Adventure 2's storyline, which was where he made his first appearance. In the game, he is found frozen in a gun facility called Prison Island by Dr. Eggman, and he seemed to have been there for decades. Probably the same place as seen in the post-credits scene, which sets up another game's storylines like Space Colony Arc, and, for better or worse, Black Arms. There is a lot to expect from the franchise, and loyal fans are eager to see what the movie franchise holds. We have come to the end of today's video. If you've enjoyed today's video, please let us know in the comments. Don't forget to share and subscribe.
I know you're dying to get your emerald on, but can we be a little bit more mindful of our surroundings?